Hello everyone, we're playing our second game and we play Caro-Kann with the black pieces. Almost 1615 elo. He trades in the center, that's the boring variation. Now we're probably just gonna develop our pieces, develop the bishop. I always like starting with this, so I don't get pinned. But it's both alright. Yeah, he develops, I develop. There's no threat to this move. I also like this move, queen b3 now, taking the pawn, taking the center, pressuring the center, I should say. Now I want to develop my other bishop, pinning this knight. If he takes, I'm okay with it. Now I solidify the center. And let's see. I'm going back because I want to keep the pin. And I don't want, and if he plays g4, I'm actually happy. Because then he's weakening the squares near his king. Okay, so I want to develop this bishop, and I think this one is really powerful. So I want to trade it off. And because the queen on b3 isn't that good anymore. Because this guy doesn't really do anything. After c6, center is well defended, and this pawn can easily be defended with something like queen c2. So I'm okay with just putting the queen to d3. So let's see, he pins me. That's alright. I castle, bringing the king to safety, of course. I also have this idea of just chasing the bishop. But ooh, yes, I had a tactic. I could have taken his pawn, and because of the pin, he couldn't take back. But he defends the center, so that doesn't work anymore. And now I actually like the idea of wait. First, I'm gonna chase the bishop because I wanted to play rook c1. But if he goes now for takes, then the b file would be open, and I would like that file more. So I'm thinking about just going with this pawn also, because now I have this idea of rerouting the knight to this beautiful square over here. Yeah, and I'm going for it. But first I'm gonna play rook c1. This bishop doesn't do anything. It's just staring at a bunch of pawns. He's getting out of the pin. So maybe he wants to move his knight into the center. But then, yeah, then he would get a pawn in the center. I can stop it with queen c2, but then he can take this one. So let's see. I can chase the bishop at least once. If he does this, I'll see what I do next. Yes. Can go for g4, but I'm weakening a lot, so I don't like that. What should I play? So if he goes there, it's not that big of a deal. Can also take, but I don't really see the need for that. Okay. Now I like this idea of no. I think it's pretty hard. Okay. Let's go knight a5. I don't want to take the bishop. Maybe later, if the rook moves, for example. But this bishop isn't doing anything. Yes, this was the move I was expecting, but I don't think it's that good. Taking isn't good, but maybe something like this I really like. Yes, I really like it. I'm just getting an active knight. Both knights can take it, but then I take with the b pawn and I can get stuff at the b file. So that's nice. I also have this. Oh wait, he takes with the bishop. That's alright. Take with the b pawn because now I have a really solid center. I like the idea of putting up this queen bishop battery to the king, but it doesn't really work because this knight's in the way and he can play this bishop move. But it's an idea to keep in your head. The problem is that this knight is pinned and I don't really like it. But let's see what he plays. Because I just want to improve the rook, because he doesn't have any threat. b5, I can take en passant. Yeah, let's take en passant. He can take. Then this pawn is hanging because the queen defends. But even taking over here doesn't seem too bad now. But maybe it is. I like take, g4, take. My king is kind of weak. I can also play this move. But then he takes. So let's play g4. Yeah, I like that. And now I play my knight to the center, attacking the bishop. And I want to take the bishop, of course, because then I have the bishop pair. And he doesn't have an extra defender for the e5 square. So that's something I like. Rook c1, just defending the pawn, because my eye is also attacking it, of course. I'm thinking about taking it, but it does open up the rook. But if I take, it takes back. I take in the center. I don't know. This knight is really strong in the center, so maybe I should just keep it there. Yeah. I like developing the queen, putting more pressure to the center. Yeah, I like this. Now we can maybe play something like this. But my bishop's not really doing anything, but maybe... Ooh. That's a weird move. He gives me an outpost. Okay, let's see. Because he just gets this crazy. And if I take, queen takes. I can't take because I'm pinned. So maybe takes. Yeah, I like taking. Don't know what he's gonna take back with. We'll see. The bishop. Okay. Then I like bring the bishop back. Yeah. Because if he takes, I'll just move my king up and it opens up my rook. We're also a bit down on time, but that's okay. Okay. He can take the pawn, but I don't really care. Okay, actually I cared a lot. Okay, that was stupid to blunder, but now I can maybe play this. Really hard. I misplayed this position, that's for sure. Yeah, I have to push to defend it. I can still take. Because I couldn't afford to lose the pawn. But I think it's like plus 1.2 for white. Something like that. Because, yeah, I like my knight. Taking the rook. Can maybe sacrifice my rook. Because if I go here, he takes if I take, yeah, I like taking the knight, because if he takes my rook, I have this intermediate check. Then if the king moves here, I drop back and win the queen, so the king moves over there, and then I take, get back. Alright, maybe even if this check, yeah, so he takes. I already thought that. I do have a check on this diagonal, but this is also a free pawn. But I do sacrifice my rook, so I can also just move my rook. Yeah, I like that. But I have to watch out for this or something like that. Yeah, I think it's better to sacrifice the rook. He can take. And is there an in-between move or something? Not really, huh? So rook takes. Because I have an attack now, and I have a knight, a bishop, and a pawn for a rook. So that's alright. So he pins me. Let's drop back. No, not to that square. I mean to this one, keeping pressure, having an eye on this diagonal. Okay, what's he gonna do? He can maybe play, ooh, that's a really good move, I guess. But then I can just activate my rook. And he can maybe try and trade. Let's see if he finds it. No, because then he drops this pawn. After take. Oh, I see a crazy line. Knight. I play my rook here. He goes there. I take the rook. He takes back. I take the pawn. He goes rook check to the king. King has to move up. Queen comes down. Threatening checkmate. And I don't know if I can escape that. Or maybe my queen over here can put some pressure to the king. So I can take the pawn. Because then my knight would drop. So I think this one is nice now. But then he has c5. So maybe this one. Yeah, I like that one. He can't go there because... Oh, he can actually go there. He can go there. No, he could have. Also, actually. Now I want to give this check. So let's see where he moves his king, or maybe he blocks. But I don't think blocking is that good. Yeah, he drops back. Now I have this check, which I am gonna give. King moves. Now maybe taking the pawn. Yes. Because I want to give this check. But then he would have played c5. So now I give this check. He maybe goes there. Then I will go there. Setting up discovery. Ooh, he blocks with the rook. I think that's bad. Because if I go here, yeah, because now I'm threatening to take. So maybe he takes, I take, he take, I take, and I'm down in exchange. But I think I can win that position. Yeah. So let's trade. Check. And then I'm gonna invest in this pawn over here. Yes, check. Okay. Now I'm gonna try and win some pawns. This one over here, for example. Okay, let's see. Maybe I do want to trade queens. Let's activate the queen. It's important. And I want to push it up maybe. I can now, but in the future. The king is pretty safe over here. Because I can take it. Yeah, I think it's best to take. And then activate my king. So like that, and then push this pawn up. So like this. And I have a really active king. Yes, I like this. I also have the idea of this, but he wants to go there. If I move here, threatening it. Yes. Moving in, threatening a check. He can give me a check, but I'll just move up. Check. Then if he moves in front of the pawn, I check and defend my pawn. Maybe he moves there, but I still move here. Defending this pawn. I maybe even drop back if he goes after the other pawn. The problem is that I can't get him away from the square. Let's activate the king. Because his king is kind of in a box. And I want to go for that pawn. So I drop back. Defending. And then I don't know what he's gonna do. Yes. So let's move the king back and forth. Then this is a winning endgame for me. So I don't think he should do that. He's thinking about it though. Okay, I move back. Now he takes that pawn, but I get this pawn. So this is nice. Because now I get to push. Ooh, I hang that pawn. Okay, now I think I'm losing actually. But if I move here, it goes behind it. I just push. Now I move closer. He has to sacrifice, and this is winning. Nice. Because now I move over here. If he gets a check, I block with the bishop. And then I'm promoting. I take it. Then I just have to let my bishop help me. So let's see. Get the king close. Get the king closer. Check. Drop back. Check. drop back. Now we can defend pawn. Nice, we won. Nice game. Let's look. Okay. 81% accuracy. Thought we were playing like a 1950. That's nice. Yeah, it was kind of a boring game from the opening. Not much happened. I was better, but then I went for the wrong plan. Should have played something like this. Just undermining the structure. And so I can attack it with my pieces. But I went for this. You played this move. Yeah. Yeah, best move en passant. Dit is oké. Het is ook goed. Oeh, dit was fout. Dat ik loper hierheen had. En wat als die dan naar hier ging bijvoorbeeld? Oh, dan had ik... Oh, oké. Dus ik had en als die omhoog ging, dan had ik zeker deze kunnen spelen. Oh nee. Show follow-up. Ik snap niet helemaal waarom dat zo is. Ik ging er ook niet voor. Hier heeft hij een plunder gemaakt. Maar niet omdat ik deed. Dat ik hierheen kon. En als hij pakte met zijn dame, dat ik een vork terwijl ik een stuk pakte. Oeh, dat was een hele mooie geweest. En als hij hem niet pakt, dan is rook gewoon getrapt. So that's nice. Okay, but I took the pawn. He took. I moved back. He attacked. Yeah, this was a nice move. In between move. A brilliant move right here. Nice. Sacrificing the rook. Oh, I should have played king takes. Yeah. I was a bit worse here. This endgame also. But I traded. Got my king active. He was still better. I didn't think that, but yeah. Here I knew I was losing, but then he made this mistake of giving me a pass pawn. Yeah. This was a draw. Where did he make the mistake? He played something like this. Yeah, I could drop there. So what is his drawing move? Oh, just playing this. Because this is a draw. Yeah, but he let me win the pawns in this position. He can't make a move without losing this pawn or losing this pawn, because he has to push or move his king away, and that's losing. So it was a nice game. I want to move. Look at one thing. Where was it? Yeah, the brilliant move. Of course, you always have to look at your brilliance. So, if I move my rook like here, he says that's the best move. But this is because I just don't. The rook isn't a 5-point piece standing over there, and my knight is much better. Yeah, so that was nice. Thank you all for watching, and